Hello, Na. Uh, Today gonna talk about Ikoria Commander 2020 and future Commander decks in Standard. So as you can see, right now Ikoria is reaching the release date. Then talk about the value for Ikoria, and in my opinion, I see that Ikoria is actually a pretty good set. It has cards that heavily commander theme, and it has a lot of cards that might have more, just say, more fun, and everybody's value perception of value is different. You can have a value from playing, what kind of value you're looking at, the cards value, the play value, how much enjoyment you get, and in a sense, I guess Ikoria as a whole in the okay, as you can see, like the general Kudro, other humans you conjugate +1/+1. It has application for competitive deck, and it has application for those EDH commander human theme deck. Black and white always has the recursion theme, and with this standard usually has a big lackluster feel to it. The sets, as you can see, sets has for the past few years, sets have always been like a copy and paste. The ideas, it became like a lazy. It didn't feel like they were trying very hard to innovate or trying to incorporate some other ideas into the game. And from my perspective, Wizards was getting lazy. Then it started to change, like maybe in World of Spark and Throne of Eldraine. For those, as you can see, they actually tried to push some boundaries, especially from World of Spark. They started to have Planeswalker not only in the rare slots, they actually have an uncommon slot, and then it gave me the impression that they are finally trying something, not just copy and paste, and just put a few keywords to make it new, which it actually doesn't seem or feel new. You just copy and paste a template and add some new words. Mm, Seems a bit lazy to that. Then for this, they have actually like more fun cards, and you have cards like the lands, as you can see, the tri lands, which is very good for commander and even for competitive play. If you have no use, you can just cycle it away, and it's applicable for it's a really strong card because it has the land type of those lands that you can search out. Okay, it's not for basic lands, but maybe for fetch lands. Polluted Delta, you can search a swamp or island, then you can just fetch out the Zagoth Triome. And for value wise, in the long term, I guess at first when the product hits the market, it definitely will have a slight drop in value because people have a feel of how the which cards are more playable and which cards has more casual appeal. Then for the most interesting part is for boxes. If you have been having a few products, you kept a few boxes, they have actually appreciated more or less. Like maybe for for example, Dominaria, it actually increase in value. Then even sets like Battle for Zendika, it doesn't have a lot of money cards, but then each box has been almost doubled in price, I guess, which I have no idea what's going on. And with this, you have which are the cards? They actually have these promo cards like the Godzillas. Then these are actually okay. These are the box toppers included in every single box. You might not get like the Space Godzilla, but you still get like some other big creatures from the series. Then it does give slightly better appeal to actually keep a few boxes. Like you can grab a couple of boxes, just store it for like 3-4 years. I mean you have $1,000, then you can just buy a box, keep it one side. Like for 4 years you don't see it, you don't try to put too much of your savings into it. Usually just take 10% of what you have to keep some sealed products. I think it is a safer and more conservative way to let your money work for you. It's not expensive. Magic is even though it's an expensive hobby, but it's actually in a sense not that expensive if you view it in another point of view. And it is one of the few instruments in the world where anyone can just buy in and you can start investing. Like I said, just 10% because you don't want to put everything in when you need the money. You are definitely not going to get back how much you're putting it in. If you bought this for $100, if you need money in like maybe 6 months time, most likely if you find another fellow player, yes, you might just get it back to get back your initial investment, like $100. But if no one's gonna buy, stores are definitely buying every time. They might only offer you $60-70 on the box because that's like 60-70% of the box because we have rental, we have overhead, we have guys we gotta pay, and it's gonna take time to actually let us sell the product. So we definitely need a margin. So it's just business, nothing personal. Yep. But then I don't think this is the best product to actually invest right now. I would actually recommend Commander 2020. The reason being, the set is actually really good. Right now we are having like pre-order for 200 Sing dollars for a set. You just break it up, sell the singles. You are more or less free rolling the whole set, and you can hardly go wrong with it. And from what I have read online, the set might be underprinted due to the virus. And with this, as you for more details, like I've searched like Star City Games, Card Kingdom, they have actually sold out. Like all the decks pre-orders, they're selling at 170 USD. And the Card Kingdom, yep, 175 is out of stock. And for Card Kingdom, they are limiting to like one per customer, and that was before they sold out. My friend was actually clicking online, and he was looking. We were having this discussion. He was asking whether how many sets should he buy. I was recommending him like maybe if possible get as many sets as possible, like 20-30 sets. Then at that time when we were talking about it, he saw it was like 80 sets available. Then like 5 minutes later on, you see like it became like what 70, and another 5 minutes later it became like 60. In another like 15 minutes it became like what half of the allocation that was listed up was gone. And we were like we were both panicking. How what should we do, what should we do? It's like okay, why not just if you want to be safe, just click 10 sets is pretty okay. Even though it's only like a US shipping only, he's gonna keep it there, or even like ask a friend to help him store it. Then he'll see how it goes. Maybe he'll ship it over to Singapore once the US open up their shipping again. And yep, and for this, Commander has always had a steady foothold on the prices, even though I think the 2018 set wasn't that good, but then still it at least held its value, as in the box set. You don't open it up, it's still fine. It wasn't as good, but it's still fine. There will be I think there was like a cat theme over there that people are actually looking at it, and I'm not too sure how many people would still have those decks around. But still, having another discussion with Nigel, then we don't see themes being reprinted within like the next 5 to 7 years, because it's really too fast. Like 2017 they had the which was it, the vampire and the dragon theme. So that was a really good Commander series. And maybe the Planeswalker on 2000, was it 17? Yeah, 2017, 2018, or is it 2016? I'm not too sure, but it's around there. And now, as you can see, it's already 4 to 5 years, and it's still pretty fresh in people's memory that those Commander decks are like still new. And maybe the 5 to 7 years is not that applicable. Maybe 8 to 10 years. 8 to 10 years, then they might revisit or rebuild another new theme for those decks. And yeah, for $200, I think it's still pretty okay. Yeah, you can just like I said, if you have a $2,000, yeah, you just buy one set, keep it aside, wait maybe 2 years. I believe that you still can get even money back, which means that you buy at 200, you can sell at 200 in the open market, which I think is pretty fair. Even if, let's say, if you need the money, you sell it at 160, 170 to players. I think there'll be players just more than willing to buy, and you won't be losing too much money out of it, so it's fine. I mean, $200, you take it as you said 160, lose $40, you lose like 20%. Yep. No. Yeah. You lose 20%. I mean, it's still fine. Just take it as a field investment. You lose 20%. It's not like you have a 20,000 and you lose 20%. I mean, that is a bigger number. For $200, it's still fine. Then next up is and for Commander, more from the article. I will definitely link the article over here, and they were talking about how things are, but usually just like I have been telling friends don't read too much into what's being published online. So same for Wizards, same for Hasbro. Whatever they print it, it's just glorified bullshit. Then they were like talking about the huge appetite for Commander. For this, yes, they finally acknowledge Commander is uh, getting bigger, and they have always been trying to push constructed format, standard, modern, pioneer, legacy, pauper. But I can tell you, it sucked. the the formats have been failing so badly since they changed it to a more uh, creature centric strategy game. Last time used to be more spell based, and it was rewarding for players who actually spent time in to be more skillful. Then after that, uh, newer players comes in, they go and play some competitive events. They will just without sufficient knowledge or whatever, they just lose. And who likes losing? Nobody likes losing. I mean, um, in a sense, if you lose with the a chance, if you lose a close fight, you still that okay, I'll come back, I'll fight again. But it was just lots of time. It was just one way street. One of the more how do you say? The old bird will just make the newbie straight up, not even close. Those kind of blow up games, just one sided. And to make it to make the game, you actually have a situation where the players, you are losing blood. You are actually losing more blood than you're having new blood into the game, which is very which is detrimental to the health of the game. So, in order to have more new blood, they decided to have more creatures instead of more spells. Creatures became better, spells became lousier, and the best example was Siege Rhino. Yeah, I think it was during then the Siege Rhino became one of the first few cards where players will actually enjoy playing the game, because hey, I have a Siege Rhino, you don't, now I'll just win. Cast my Siege Rhino, take 3, gain 3, beat you for 4, and yep. Oh, I just beat a pro player. Yep, you get to brag. But then, do you use any skill? Yep. By drawing Siege Rhino more often than your opponents, there's some kind of skill. If you are not lying to yourself, and and yep, that actually geared the game into a different direction where anyone has a chance to win, not just like the pro players. Yes, the pro players would win more, but it was not as huge a gap compared to a earlier part of the game. You can spend countless hours practicing. You can spend like 30 hours, 40 hours playing Magic, trying to be the best, and then you have some stupid kid comes in. Oh, I just play 2-3 hours a week. Oh, I have more Siege Runner than you. Take it. They'll suck it up, and oh well. So yep. Now it's like the game is the game is growing. Yes, it's definitely growing, which means that the direction they made was actually correct. And but then it was still not appealing to a much bigger crowd, that is the Commander players. And then now, as you can see, what players are learning through Commander, talking about how what your friends are playing, you're interested, you're gonna learn the game, and this is the pre-con that they're gonna have. Then people are gonna use a pre-con to teach newer players to play the game instead of having like those starter decks previously, which are pretty bad products. Okay, then Ikoria commanders, and now they have like a 71 brand new cards. Oh my god, this is actually on the surface you see that wow, you first thing wow, 71 new cards, but then take a look at this, and Elvish Mystic is a functional reprint of either the Finnon Elves, Llanowar Elves. Is it a reprint? No, it's a new card. So yep, read carefully, guys. Wizards are really good at feeding people bullshit, and yep, we've been getting this kind of stuff from them and Hasbro. So next, commander deck. Nope, a new kind of commander deck, which is like last time they had Brawl. Brawl was they're trying so hard to push standard to commander players that they introduced Brawl, 60 card commander format, and it failed so badly. Yep, because one thing that made it fail, it has rotation. Rotation basically kills all sorts of value you have to the players. You want your cards to have a long-term value. Playability is a very huge value which they have always neglected, which is why the secondary market have thrived so much throughout the years. When yes, you're trying very hard to push standard, you're trying very hard to push your sales, you're trying very hard to get people buying standard packs, booster boxes. But what do? You introduce rotation, which actually, yes, it spices up the format. It makes it more lively. But then to the casual players, you're basically just a money black hole. There's basically no incentive for them to buy and play the format because they're basically going to be like standard players. You buy cards, you buy packs or everything, then what? 1.5, 2 years later, then all the cards just became worthless. Then, yep, they basically, I'm not too sure who's behind the marketing side or who's behind the strategy side, whether they seen like they plan sufficiently or whatever, or just felt that, oh, this is a very good idea, let's do it, oh yeah. But then they're not retailers, they don't actually see what we see. To them, yes, the numbers are very important, so do we do want the game to progress, and I don't know, it's just more towards a hive mind concept, I guess. And then it's like some kind of what commander collection green. You have all the green cards. I'm gonna link this to the video description. You guys can go take a look because it's quite a fair bit, and Sometimes reading this stuff just pisses me off. I've never liked what they have been published. Not something that I agree to it. It's more towards like there's this huge discrepancy between them and us retailers. They do their stuff, we do ours. And yep, if you want value, play value wise, I think Ikoria is fine. Ikoria is really okay. There's much more casual appeal to Ikoria as a whole, and in the future you can grab like a couple of boxes, keep it aside 3 to 4 years. I think it should still be good. Then Commander 2020, even in 1 year you might see an immediate jump, and it has a much better retention value compared to a standard booster box. As always, Commander sets have always seen better returns compared to standard boxes. Standard boxes, you need a much longer time to see some appreciation, like maybe 4-5 years. Whereas Commander, you have like in 2 years you might see a return, or even like a 2018 Commander sets, just like 18 months. It just jumped because there was a very short print run. They just cut off the order for us in what we only had one reorder in 3 months, or was it 6 months? We only had 2 orders. I could only restock twice. That's it. No, not restock twice. I only can restock once. One was when it was first released. We had to push in our orders. Then we had to wait like 3 to 6 months later on to get our first restock. And even then, we didn't get our full allocation. We wanted like 20 sets. We only got like 8, which is ridiculous. But yep, that's how things are. And I think that's all for today. A pretty long video. I was just thinking what to discuss. Nothing was written down, just everything off of my head. And still the same. You guys be safe, go out. Remember to wear mask. Don't stay out too long. Avoid crowds. And if there's anything you want me to talk about, anything that you'd like us to discuss about, drop me an email at flagshipgames.sg@gmail.com. I'll be providing the link to the articles over here, and yep, everything is just my opinion. So feel free, comment, share, like video, hit the video, subscribe to us, unsubscribe to us. I don't know. Hey, that's all for today. Thank you, nah.